Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Working on this latest episode has filled me with tons of creative juices. The team and I had the honor to visit our friends over at Myers to check out their latest faculty exhibit, as well as interview some of the members. My name's Ella Mitchell, and I'll be your host and artist for this episode of The Lowdown. While I continue working on my latest piece, please enjoy our first interview.
My name's Chris Hoot, and I teach graphic design, and I oversee foundations two-dimensional design, and I've taught drawing as well, but mostly graphic design, full range of courses. I've got two pieces in that exhibition for the faculty exhibition. One is called Oceanic, and that's the larger piece with 3 different layers, and the other one is Luminous Geometries. Kind of came up with that just because of the way it's mostly plexiglass, I think, or acrylic, and resin, so it kind of glows a bit. They're pretty much 2 different approaches. You could say they're constructions, so 3-dimensional compositions pretty much, so that's the commonality. Well, they're experiments. It's also a collage. I go through so many variations on it and look at it at different times. It's kind of hard to recall everything. It lets you kind of open up to any direction, for one thing. It's very subjective. Like I'll do something and respond to it and build it further. So you have to do your research and say, okay, what is the goal of this piece? What are you trying to say? And develop ideas that would clarify that direction. But you want to make it visually interesting as well. So then kind of everything, anything and everything's an inspiration, and you can look at nature, but I would say research helps you understand what the subject may be about so that you can give form to it that's appropriate. The other thing I would say, the more you work, the more quickly ideas come about, but then the question is, what do you do with those ideas in order to help the client communicate clearly in an artful manner? So graphic design is more of a discipline, and there are different media, like we use the computer. I would say that, there's that emphasis on the computer, and half my job is to kind of use those tools that are available, but not exclusively. Try to move away from just the digital realm and, sitting down and drawing out ideas and thinking first before you jump into the computer and use the computer. It's just going to have more and more computer programs that are available that hopefully they're going to look less like digitally rendered and such. It's unlikely though. Definitely the computer is a medium that we work with, but try not to use it exclusively. Try to think and develop ideas, do sketches. I think the process allows for things to build. I try different processes and try combining them together. Like I said, I have kind of created my own ways of working with things. So for my work in the exhibition, there's no one direct process. It's more about working through different media and kind of getting some type of resolve or direction I feel works well. Well, it's allowed me to study the history of typography and bring that into my work. It's allowed me to meet some of the kind of prominent figures in the field in terms of graphic design. It's allowed me to work with a variety of clients and in different capacities, whether it's as a graphic designer or whether it's freelance or working with a company or a small design firm. So it's allowed me to travel around the country and work in different places. My artwork, I feel, is just starting to get out there more so within the last probably 3 years or so. So that's exciting. Yeah. I did get into the Cleveland Triennial, and I've had a couple solo exhibitions and been part of some group exhibitions as well. So try to develop your ideas. Don't get stuck on the first or second idea. Try to develop research. Get excited about your work and trying to figure a way to communicate in an artful manner. Try not to let the computer dictate to you what the options are. So it is about knowing the principles and elements of design and how you can organize those in order to communicate in an artful manner again. So in any given situation, you should have 3 or 4 options, just like right off the bat, just by knowing how to use the principles of design. But keep open to what people say and use constructive criticism to your advantage. That's very important lesson to learn. And enjoy your work, and it's no longer like the job you have to do. It's what you do.
Hey, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more interviews and even more awesome art to show off. See you soon.
Have you ever found yourself feeling sleepy, distressed, or just downright bored? Then try Akron After Hours. Viewers have reported signs of happiness, comfort, and craving for more content. Tune in to 45-1 at these times to get your daily dose.
Yeah! Sam, Elmo!
Oh, hey, Julia. Are you ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
My name is PJ Hargraves, and I'm the 3D technician at the Myers School of Art. So I oversee the studio laboratory spaces for metalsmithing, ceramics, and sculpture. Yeah, so the pieces I have in the faculty exhibition are coil-built pieces out of clay. So I start with a flat piece for the very bottom and then just build it up inch by inch from there with rolled coils. Yeah, so I think I'm really enthusiastic as a maker, so I like to generate ideas really fast. And clay is a material where you can take those ideas and make them into a three-dimensional piece very quickly. So I respond to that very much in clay, and also I really like being able to make things that have a gestural quality, so you can see the fingerprints and kind of the quickness at which they're made. Yeah, so I think, in a lot of the work you can see the squishiness of the clay and the way that my hands are manipulating the material or the tools. But also I think I'm a real nerd for like the science behind making ceramic art as well. So all the glazes are things that I've made up, and the color scheme I think is also really playful. Yeah, I think, with clay, it's very time-based, so you have to constantly be checking on things in the studio. So it kind of, in that way, keeps you coming back because you need to check on it every single day. And normally when you're there, you're like, oh, I might as well work on some other things while I'm here checking on this. So I think that's a major part of it. And also, when you're working with clay, gravity is a big concern as well. So you can't build something super fast, like the sculptures I have in the exhibition, because they would collapse under their own weight. So knowing when to add and subtract material. Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's hard for me to separate my life from my art. It feels like it's very intertwined. And so yeah, like I love making stuff every day, so I'm always excited to be in the studio. But that kind of matches who I am as a person as well. I feel like I'm always really optimistic. Yeah, so a lot of my work is inspired by folk art, particularly like quilts and craft objects from Appalachia and Pennsylvania, which I'm originally from Pennsylvania. But yeah, I think a lot of those artworks, the thing that I'm responding to in those and trying to recreate in my own work is this connection to like your landscape or kind of just the area right around where you live. And so some of those symbols of like birds and flowers can be things that are universal across lots of different cultures and spaces. Oh, so I mean, I guess I have to say the bird, because the bird appears in my work all the time. But you know, recently squirrels have been really fun for me, so I really like making the tail because it's almost the same size as the body, so it's pretty fun to sculpt squirrels. Yeah, you know, I think as somebody, I listen to a lot of NPR, so I like to stay up to date with current events, but as you know, there's so many like bad things that happen every day around the world. So at a certain point in graduate school, I decided that you know, my studio practice is the only thing that I can completely control. So I wanted to make everything about my studio like positive and optimistic. So I think being able to still hold on to some sort of innocence or being able to enjoy the little things about life is kind of what keeps us all going. Yeah, I think, you know, for advice, maybe for anybody, not necessarily for art and specifically, but like just follow what you're passionate about, and you'll be able to have a great career with it as long as you work hard.
Pretty cool, right? Sure, it might not be exhibit worthy, but I'm pretty proud of my kangaroo coloring sheet. Anyways, thank you so much for watching our episode today, and a special thank you to Arnie, Chris, and PJ for working with us on this episode. It was super fun meeting you all, and we hope you enjoyed working with us. If you want to see more local arts, music, and entertainment, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook, like us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all at ztvlowdown. And if you want the latest on all things Myers, be sure to follow them on Instagram at Myers School of Art. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with us. My name is Ella Mitchell, and that was The Lowdown.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. Do you want to gain experience in video production, professional social media, or working with real clients? Visit the UA School of Communications online or follow us on social media to learn more. ZTV.